You know about Kneecap? This is the Northern Irish hip-hop band, a trio, quite controversial. They were recorded at a show in Belfast. I think it's their native city, but certainly that's the area. Ulster is where they're from. They were recorded there shouting at the audience, "The only good Tory is a dead Tory, kill your local MP." That doesn't seem to have caused them any legal problems at all. When they came to Kentish Town here in North London, not so long ago at a venue called the Forum, one of their members is accused of allegedly waving a Hezbollah flag at the concert. Now, Hezbollah is a proscribed, forbidden organisation, so we can't really get too much into that case because that is sub judice. I do believe that the defendant claims he's not guilty, that this is not a valid allegation against him. But they did say the only good Tory is a dead one, kill your local MP. The BBC seems to be backing Kneecap by saying, as far as we can work out,
as usual,
they will film or broadcast their concert. And as far as we can work out, Glastonbury, we phoned Glastonbury, we didn't get an answer, but they're still on the lineup, so looks as if Kneecap will perform there. I better read out the BBC's statement, then we'll get your take, Andrea. Now, the problem with Kneecap, here they are, is that not only that they may appear at Glastonbury and loads of people don't believe they deserve that due to their stance on killing MPs, but also that the BBC, as it tends to do, will broadcast their concert. Do they deserve that kind of publicity? Now, the BBC said to us only about a couple of hours ago, as the broadcast partner, the BBC will be bringing audiences extensive music coverage from Glastonbury with artists booked by the festival organisers. Whilst the BBC doesn't ban artists, our plans will ensure that our programming will meet our editorial guidelines. Decisions about our output will be made in the lead up to the festival. So they don't know yet whether or not they'll be showing this. Well, A, Andrea, should they still be in the Glastonbury lineup? And B, should the BBC, if they are in the lineup, should the BBC broadcast their concerts? What are your thoughts on both those questions?
Well, first of all, I want to know, have you ever been to Glastonbury, Kev?
Yeah, I went once, never again. I was of an age when you might kind of enjoy that sort of thing back then. It's a long time ago. Yeah, I know. I hated every single...
Oh, did you?
I can't stand all that communal get-together stuff, and I really don't want to go.
It's a bit hippified, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to wait 3 hours to go to the loo. I really
The closest I've been is watching the Bridget Jones movie, one of them.
There you go. Well,
and that's as far as I've got to being close to the
I must admit, in the past, I've rather enjoyed... I enjoy watching Glastonbury on the telly, particularly when it rains. But I think the weather might be all right this weekend. But what do you thought? I mean, should they be on the lineup?
No, they shouldn't. And again, it's a two-tier system here, isn't it? Because if it was somebody to the right and centre-right who was singing songs about killing MPs, then they wouldn't get away with it. I mean, look, I've had 7 death threats, Kevin. I've had correspondence wishing for my child to be raped by Hamas, and they still haven't found this person. I've got CCTV at my home, and, you know, so... for them to be going around saying stuff like that and the BBC to be broadcasting it, it's wrong, it's abhorrent. And I mean, I've had a campaign to defund the BBC for years now. I've been part of that campaign, and it shows you why we shouldn't be paying our TV licence, in my opinion.
Exactly right. I mean, the BBC, how far it's fallen since the start of the Gaza war is extraordinary. I mean, what was left of their reputation, they have destroyed. But they seem to have, this state broadcaster seems to have a kind of innate ability to always make the wrong kind of decisions. Like, I still can't get it round my head.
But that's historic even with Jimmy Savile, though, isn't it?
Jimmy Savile. But why can't they say that Hamas is a proscribed terrorist organisation? Why can't they just say that? Because it is. They have to say it is prescribed by some countries, including Britain.
Yeah.
Well, why can't they treat Hamas for what it is, a banned illegal terrorist organisation?
Because a lot of them are the student protesters who some become like Jeremy Corbyn MPs, some performing things like this, and others become left-wing journalists. And so that is the issue, Kev, isn't it? I mean, this is why we really need to defund it. Why should the British taxpayer be putting anything towards the BBC? I'm sure that if they had to rely on the markets and actual viewing figures where they haven't got any public funding, they would start having to change their stance then.
I watched a drama on the BBC last week. I don't know. I used to be a TV critic, but I really rarely watch telly. But it was called Gold. It was about the Brinks-Matt gold robbery. And do you know what was good about it? I mean, it was quite entertaining, quite a good drama. Starred Hugh Bonneville as a cop.
Yeah, and he's very good, isn't he? I like him as an actor. Yeah.
Do you know what was good about it? It was totally unwoke. It didn't have any kind of virtue signalling angle, nothing about trans people or woke issues. It was just...
So all the actors wasn't trans then?
Yeah, exactly. It was a good drama telling a good story.
Yeah,
why don't they do
more? Exactly.
Why don't they do more of that? Why don't they do more?
I mean, you've seen it in Hollywood and even Disney movies, haven't you? It's everywhere now, isn't it? People being cancelled, isn't it, for just being straightforward, common sense people. Really.
Exactly. Let me ask you a little bit about, you've just been in Westminster, I know.
Yeah.
A lot of gossip. It's more than gossip, actually, saying that Keir Starmer's in a world of trouble with his own ranks, with the backbenchers. As many as 150 may rebel over him and Rachel Reeves increasingly attacking the benefits budget. They're cutting because they're trying to balance the books. And their backbench MPs, quite a few cabinet members as well, apparently are on the point of rebelling and just saying we're not going to put up with this anymore. Apparently the Labour Central Command has responded, not by that usual way. They usually say, now, if you support us, there may be knighthoods, there may be damehoods, you never know.
No, absolutely.
You can become a lord.
Just as the Whip's office does, actually.
You could become, we'll promote you, you could be Instead of doing that, apparently it's real hardball. They're apparently just saying, if you don't vote for us, we will remove the whip from you. Simple as that. They were getting really hardball, which indicates to me Starmer is very worried.
And also what he's trying to do is because, look, there's clearly these different camps, well, allegedly, isn't there, of the Angela Rayners wanting the top spot, the Wes Streeting wanting the top spot, and even delusional, I've heard about our Chancellor wanting to become PM. And so I've heard lots of rumours, as you do as a former MP, you get to hear the gossip. And so what I think they're trying to do is silence that, because there's all these camps plotting anyway.
Yeah. So but he's got a rising rebellion on his hand,
absolutely.
Hasn't he? And talking of Angela Rayner, I mean, to say she's on manoeuvres is the understatement of the century. Completely. But this workers' rights bill of hers.
Oh, do you know, by the way, on manoeuvres, she's got this new image now, and I found out when a couple of my dresses I've worn for conferences, it's the same one Angela Rayner wears.
So she's probably watching you. She's watching you.
No, she got them first. I got them in the sale. I didn't get mine free.
Well, if you want some advice from me, don't take fashion advice from Angela Rayner.
No, tell me about it.
Just saying.
I thought it was in the sale, so that's why I bought it.
But
yeah, she's on manoeuvres, definitely.
And tell us, what's your this workers' rights bill? They say will A, destroy our economy, and B, take us back to the 1970s. Basically wreck everything that Margaret Thatcher achieved in hauling back the power of the unions, because back in the 70s the union power was so vast that the country couldn't function. Her bill, her workers' rights bill, many say will take us back to this.
Yes, I agree.
And there's the everything.
Well, you can get sick pay from day one. You haven't got the same probationary period anymore, that you've got rights from the beginning. And, you know, why would a business employ people under Labour? Unfortunately, it's the
thing is that she and various other people in the cabinet represent a kind of throwback to watch the Labour, so up the workers, that kind of...
The Corbyn type, aren't they?
Old-fashioned Corbynist union, workers' rights. I'm all for workers' rights, but you can carry it too far.
Oh, exactly.
You should remember, folks, that this was the bill. I mean, she did get this clawed back offer, but she wanted to include in it, to give you an idea of how little Angela Rayner and indeed so many politicians, present company accepted, know about the real world. She wanted a ban on buses contacting, phoning, emailing.
After 5 o'clock, was it?
After 6 p.m.
Oh, 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Now, there are a lot of businesses that couldn't function like this.
No, exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Well, as a politician, you couldn't. Stuff comes in your role, you couldn't, could you?
I mean, newspapers
exactly. No, they're just not living in the real world. But again, it shows you how the unions have got a hold on the Labour Party still, doesn't it, really?
Big time, because they are the Labour Party's paymasters.
Exactly.
So what do you think the next 4 years are going to be like before we part company, Andrew?
I mean, I think that Starmer doesn't care whether he's a Prime Minister in 4 years' time.
Just as well.
I think that it's trying to change Britain and the Labour Party in their worldview.
Yeah.
That's why it's taken us back into the EU through the back door. And I think it's a mission to make it this socialist republic where common sense is out the window, etc. You said about workers' rights. And we're driving out business, driving out our millionaires who actually invest in the country. And I don't think they care. They're going to try and tie us up so much, actually, Kevin, that it'll be beyond recognition. But I don't think it'll last the 4 years, though. That's my prediction.
So good polls, all the polls for Reform UK tend to be pretty damn good these days. A good one over the weekend, putting Reform on 34%, way ahead of the other two. I think Labour on 22, and the Tories just out there in the distance, also rans. So this was the poll that people said proves that Nigel Farage could be the next Prime Minister. Do you think, I mean, the momentum is with you at the moment. Do you think you can hang on to it? Do you think that you can continue getting these amazing poll results?
I seriously do, Kevin. I mean, I joined Reform because I want Nigel to become Prime Minister, and I've known him a long time, since the Brexit years, as I have Richard. And I think he's the only one in Reform who can save Britain, to be honest with you. And that's not just a cliche, a tagline. I've seen it on the streets. I mean, look at the net zero policies. We're the only one with...
We're doing that next, actually.
We're the only ones. I mean, I'll tell you some stories. I might come on next week if I can to tell you what I'm trying to do in the council to push back on this.
Do that. I mean, we're going to do the net zero story in a minute there. Ed Miliband's still entirely incapable of explaining what the hell GB Energy is, even though we've given it £8.3 billion. But they don't know. Do you know that? So we gave this company, or whatever the hell it's supposed to be, GB Energy, £8.3 million. And as of the beginning of this month, they didn't even have a bank account.
That's crazy, isn't it? I mean, I had a meeting, Richard Tice and I, and the leader of our Lincolnshire County Council, we had a meeting with about 30-odd activist community groups, all opposed to the pylons, to the solar farms, even the burning chicken poo in Lincolnshire. And there's real anger out there. And I think we're the only party speaking common sense on this. And don't forget, if you look back at social media of Kemi, they should probably clean it up tonight or get one of a team to, but she was pro it originally.
Well, they still are. They still are.
Exactly.
She says, we're doing it. She's like Rishi. We still want net zero, but we want it more sensibly.
We don't want it. No.
Actually, people don't want it.
I'm meeting a fracking company tomorrow.
Good.
Yes.
Get fracking again.
Absolutely.
But last question, Andrew. Great to see you, of course. Going back to my point about this poll giving Nigel and Reform 34%, way ahead of the pack.
Yes.
Can Reform do it?
Yes.
Without, I mean, when I say do it, I mean, win the next election decisively.
Yeah.
Can they do that without any kind of deal with the Tories?
Yes. I mean,
explain why.
I mean, look, initially, pre the general election last year, I was one of these advocating for a deal. I've spoke to Rishi, I spoke to Nigel and Richard, trying to bring both parties together because I didn't want the Labour supermajority. But I mean, they both said to me, you know, we don't need the Tories. You'll see in 5 years' time it'd be a different landscape. And I didn't quite believe it, but actually being on the inside of reform, it's amazing. I mean, honestly, to pull, I've never been in a party where you can pull from Labour, pull from Conservative, because it's the key things that unite both, actually. Traditional Labour and centre-right Conservatives, what unites us all is about our family, our country, our community, strong armed forces, strong law and order, and yeah, that's what matters, and we want common sense.
As I said to Richard Tice some time ago, I said, what you got going for you is Reform UK are what people used to expect of the Conservative Party.
Exactly.
The Reform UK Party pursues Conservative policies for reasons that escape me, that I still can't work out. The Tory Party decided to stop following.
That's why I left, wasn't it?
Exactly right. That's it. I've got the evidence right here.